What up, what up, what up? It is your boy Papayon here with Enzo the God. What up, Enzo?
Hey, what's up, guys?
It is the Shake and Break Show, episode 34. And you might not see him, but you will hear him. We have the birthday boy himself, Bowen, in the building. What up, Bowen?
What up, fellas?
Bowen is
Happy birthday, Bo.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
Bowen's a longtime friend of the flow, and happy to have him here with us tonight, hanging out. He'll also be joining us for some breaks and some giveaways on our live breaks right after this. But into the important stuff. All right. Opening question. You get to have a meal with one person from the hobby, one person from history, and one superhero or villain.
Ooh. From the hobby.
And you guys are like sitting down, table of four.
So I gotta pick three from the hobby?
No, one from the hobby,
Okay, never mind. I got you.
one
All
from
right.
history, and a superhero and or villain.
So from the hobby, it's either gotta be Mike Jets or Rut.
Great
Like,
choices.
I just feel
It's
like
interesting choice because I tried to eat a meal with Mike Jets, but he decided he wanted burgers instead of a nice sit-down restaurant where we
listen,
had
if
our own
Mike wants to
entire room.
if Mike wants to go get burgers, I'm in.
Well, dude, he
Bro,
needed
that's
you. He needed you because he went and got a burger by himself
Oh,
while
he
we
can't make a
all.
man eat a burger by
he was like
himself.
No.
Steven Landsberg.
We didn't make him do anything, bro. So here's the quick little story. We were at the National.
Man, this
We're in
is tragic.
Chicago. We went to the casino. The plan was to grab dinner as a group and then go gamble. And we found this noodle bar, so we were gonna go to this spot, and we're walking like across the casino. And Mike Jets spots a burger place and just gets in line. And we go, Mike, like we're going to the noodle bar, like we're all going to sit down and like eat. And he's like, bruh, I just gotta get this burger, man. I don't know what to tell you guys. I just gotta get this burger. And we're like,
Oh man,
well, all right, man, we'll see you around. And we went and
I didn't even see this happen. It just happened, and like I turned around and Mike wasn't with us, so I was confused.
dude, then we got to the place and they didn't have enough seating at a regular table. So they gave us a private room. And it was amazing. We had a great meal, great time. And Mike Jets texted us a picture of him eating his burger by himself. And then he texted us and said, "Oh man, I just saw two guys high five, and I'm so sad right now."
Yeah, did it to yourself, Mike.
You solidified my pick. I'm taking Mike. And we're just letting the day decide where we're going to eat. The other two have to tag along, but Mike's making the call.
All right, so you got Mike from the hobby. Who else we got? Person from history.
Man, that's like I feel like the cop out answer would be like Jesus, right? Just to see what's going on with that dude.
Just to see what's up, pick his brain a little
Yeah,
bit.
The code.
Yeah, like just like story's true, bro. Like fill me in. Like we got this burger. Tell me how it goes. Oh, it has to be a real
Oh,
person?
damn.
Oh no. Oh, we might be a table of three then.
Oh,
He just no shows up. Oh.
You'd have your answer
Oh,
though. I
jeez.
guess.
Way to
Yeah.
go, Bowen. Way to go.
What was the last one?
The last one was a superhero or villain.
Superhero or villain? So I've been on a big X-Men kick lately.
Okay.
Because I got all those Marvel cards and they're all like mostly X-Men. So I was like, oh, let's go revisit that time in my life. So it would have to be like Wolverine or something, but I'd feel like he might be a messy eater. Like he comes with built-in forks,
Yeah.
but they might go through the
Yeah,
table.
I don't know.
He
Deadpool,
Probably I
Deadpool would be
will.
like lit, but I feel like he might get us in some trouble.
Yeah,
yeah.
but then you'd have to see his face, right? Like you have to take his mask off to eat.
Well, I mean,
Not for me.
no, it'd ruin your meal.
Yeah, nah.
Wolverine, you could take to like a Brazilian steakhouse. I think he would be like
Or like a
prime.
fondue joint and just like
Oh
Yeah, he just
yeah,
get a
just
piece of
spear
meat on
everything.
each
Yeah.
yeah,
each thing.
and then he could
Yeah.
like feed me off the cloth. Yeah, Wolverine's it.
Yo.
That's crazy. All right, so
It's
you're
not
going
beheaded
with, man, what a dinner. Wolverine,
Yeah.
Mike Jetson, Jesus. That's a good group.
A little something for everybody,
All
right?
right, Enzo, who you having dinner with?
All right. So the hobby, I'm gonna go with Gloms.
Yo, he's
The
gonna bring
goat.
gummy bears. You gonna be eating with my kids?
It's perfect. Yeah, no, I'll eat some gummy
Gloms
bears
is a
with
great
Gloms, bro.
thing,
And
too.
you know what? Maybe those gummy bears make me feel some type of way, Bowen. You know what I mean? If you catch
That's
what I'm
that's the after
putting
show.
down here. But then nah, because here's the deal. Gloms will bring a box of sweet treats from Aldi. My man always has the connect. He's always got the fire sweet treats. All right. So Gloms, historically, man, that's tough. That's a tough one.
It's got to be Jesus, right? Like,
Yeah, like that's like obviously where you want to go to, right? Like you want to go Jesus. Um, I would say, and I don't know if this is against the rules or not, but like I know of my great 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 grandfather.
That's in the rules. You're good.
he's an
Is okay, and I just want to like just see what's up, bro, and like see if he's happy with how things turned out. Like, yeah,
So
no, I'm actually
essentially,
like
you're
half
bringing
Cuban,
Jesus.
and he's just kind of like, what is Cuban? And then I have to explain it, you know. So like I like that part of it. Um, and then superhero, you already know who I'm going. Pop should know this by now, but I'm a big Batman guy. I really get down with my man's.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
But wait, are you
I'm not wearing
going
hockey pants.
Batman or are you going Bruce Wayne?
I'm going Batman.
So he's wearing
Like
the
he
mask
better be,
and the cape and
the
hockey
whole
pads.
fit, bro.
Gotcha.
The whole fit.
Okay.
Batman's my guy. If we were going like somebody with actual superpowers,
Now let me ask you this before you get there: which Batman?
okay. Oh boy, jeez, I'm gonna piss off a lot of the older people here, but yeah, I'm gonna go Christian Bale.
Yeah.
You can't take Clooney; he's too pretty.
Yeah, no. I think
Clooney is a terrible Batman. It's definitely like Michael Keaton,
Oh, Keaton would.
Christian Bale. Val Kilmer was like, I don't even know how they let like a blonde haired Batman happen,
Oh,
but like that was a thing that happened.
We got people.
Yeah, I know, but that's just not the way it is. But if I'm going somebody with superpowers, I'll probably go with Superman.
Mm.
I'm a classic guy. What can I say? Batman, Superman,
Huh?
DC world. Wish they made better movies, but here we are.
Yeah, yeah.
So to summarize, we got Gloms, my great times 5 grandfather, and Batman or Superman sitting down for dinner. All right, Pop, go.
All right.
I know Pop's got a fire historical answer for us. My
Or he's
man's
going
a
like
history
Gandhi
nut.
or like Mother Teresa.
Nah, just wait. Just wait.
So I'm going employee 84 from the hobby.
Solid choice.
Okay.
Pick up the check too. That's a good one. Wow.
He'll rack you a meal.
Yeah, we're going employee 84. We're going Ben Franklin.
That's a good one.
I think those two, just those two guys and some beverages, it would be a good time. I think it would be a very
I want to change my answer. Alexander Hamilton.
Well, that's a good one.
Oh, wait,
'Cause I
like,
got to know how it
Are
felt
you
to
talking
die
about?
that way,
Are
bro.
you talking about?
yeah, what Hamilton you talking about, bro? Like,
Talking about Miranda?
like is your Hamilton rapping?
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton. Oh, all right.
Is he rapping, racing, or rectifying the Constitution?
OG Alexander Hamilton, and I got to know how it felt to do all that hard work and then die that way.
All right.
In a duel, and that how he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched Hamilton. I know how he died.
He's like, I seen this shit. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this group. Next question.
Yeah, I
Bringing a
knew that was
tree?
coming.
Yeah.
He's gonna hold shit down, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Man,
If anything happens, bro, he can like grow roots around them and protect them from anything. Easy choice.
To be clear, it's Vin Diesel group.
yeah.
Just in
I was gonna
case.
say, are you bringing like
Yeah,
Vin Diesel,
yeah,
like,
nah.
Master
We're not
Prof,
going
like, through?
baby. We're not going baby or teen group. My man's going OG Vin Diesel. I am Groot, 7 foot tall.
I feel like we really missed an opportunity to bring Dominic Toretto with us to dinner.
That's the superhero?
He's
Or
a
the
pseudo
person
superhero.
from
So that's-
history.
Yeah.
He is an historical figure, correct?
He is.
oh man, he might be at this point. God.
Oh man.
My
All right.
first question is, what happened to Leon? Where did he go? Why did everybody come back but Leon?
Leon, bro, he just the whole Jesse shit just ruined him.
Yeah,
Also
Fun
read
fact.
I read a fan fiction that
Oh my god, you would.
that
You would read Fast and Furious fan fiction.
that Jesse was actually in a coma, and that's the whole series.
Oh, it's like a dream.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then he wakes up in the hospital and everyone's there, and then the nurse tech is ludicrous.
So all
The
the, like,
surgeon,
new people
yes,
like a
yes,
Wizard
are
of
like,
Oz
are
dude.
like, I'm like,
the surgeon's the Rock,
Oh man.
and it's just get off Reddit. Yeah, exactly.
bro, but Leon,
Big
I don't know if
facts.
you guys listen to like rock music, but Leon was the lead singer of a band called Operator.
Really
Yeah, like
interesting.
they went on tour with Shinedown back in like
Ooh.
2009, 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, good. They had a couple
Okay.
decent songs if you ever feel like just listen to some old
I get down with some rock.
alternative metal.
So Bowen, obviously we've known you for quite a little while here, but how did you get into the hobby?
So I used to collect cards when I was a kid, like I think a lot of people did. That's where like the love for Gary Payton comes from.
The glove.
Yeah, because I grew up outside of Chicago, but I ain't no bandwagoner. So I picked the Sonics to be my favorite team
I like
for some
it.
reason.
I like
Yeah.
it.
That's bold, bro.
Yeah,
You
man.
got a
Like
layup.
all the way on the West Coast. Never got to see any of their games. Followed on ESPN. Um, so I collected cards with my dad. Um, and then you get a little bit older and you fall out of it. And I started building up my Michigan collection and was picking up like singles, not ladies, cards on eBay.
Sure.
Michigan singles. You
Both.
can't Google that. I don't think.
Yeah, no, don't please don't Google that, guys.
I started picking up like singles, and I had like a couple display cases where I was kind of putting everything. And then I think I went to like Target one day, and they had some packs, and I was like, oh man, I haven't opened packs in forever. And I stumbled upon like a couple dudes on Twitter who were in the hobby. His name was like Phil Weston or something like that. I forget his name now. And
Yep.
he kind of took me in and was like, "Yeah, man, because like we still using Beckett," and he's like, "No, uh, we are not." And I was like, "Oh." And then it just kind of like I started getting deep into like Twitter hobby, and
When
then
was this? Like what year?
uh 2019, 2020, so right
Oh,
around before the pandemic started, into that time period. The perfect time to get into the hobby when it's all expensive. And I remember like I had this memory of I started to like collect Fernando Tatis cards. So I went and bought a Beckett, right? And I got a columnar pad. for those who don't know what a columnar pad is, it's basically a spreadsheet in paper form. Um, and I wrote out a Fernando Tatis checklist using Beckett prices, right? Fernando Tatis flagship rookie in Beckett was $5. Imagine my surprise when I went on eBay and it was not $5. And I was like, I'm not paying more than Beckett prices. What are you talking about?
I love it.
Uh, yeah, little did I know that's doesn't how it doesn't work like that anymore.
No, no, it does not.
Yeah, so that's I mean I got into it and then I met Brooke. I don't know whoever most of us familiar with Brooke. Uh, he
Brooks
like
Beans.
Brooks Beans. He shipped me a blaster at Donruss. He kind of took me under his wing. I think through him, that's how I met you guys and Gloms.
Mhm.
Here we are. Just
Long time ago.
yeah.
Talked to Brooke yesterday. You think Brooke's a good dude?
Yeah, I love Brooke. Brooke is probably one of my favorite people to interact with on the hobby.
Yo, still to this day, I haven't yet to have a better cookie in my entire
Nah,
lifetime.
bro, he ships. Yeah, he has shipped us cookies, and they were
Yeah,
amazing.
that was. Whew. He would break and then he'd ship you cookies and it was the best
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, Brookie's cookies.
Mhm.
And apparently, me and his grandmother are the only two people that call him Brookie. So, fun fact.
How about
I'm really sad he kind of took a break from social media and like I know he had a kid I think last year or so and they had a few other kids and I think everything was just kind of
Yeah, he can get
going
crazy,
crazy.
man.
Yeah,
We
man.
we all know here.
that? Yeah,
But
life
he
can really
yeah,
life. You know.
he's probably one of the better people I've met in this here hobby space.
Agreed.
Very cool.
Agreed. So, normally on the Shake and Break show, we go into some new releases, topics from the week. So we're still going to do a little bit of that here with Bowen. First thing on the docket, Series 1 release. Thoughts? I think we talked a little bit about it last week. So, Bowen, what are your thoughts on Series 1? No wrong
So
answers.
I know we're not a paper group. Um
That's true.
but there's just something about
Historically.
ripping at least one box of Series 1, right? And getting the flagship rookies of the newer guys, right? That just, I don't know, like and for the price, like 70, $80, rip it, put the rookies away for a rainy day, and then don't rip any more of it. Like, just one and done it. I think is the best way because I think what I found is I've ripped, there are years where I ripped like one or two, three, maybe four, and you end up with quite a few complete sets after a couple boxes. And
For sure.
I don't know
Oh
what
yeah,
about you
a lot
guys,
of
but
cards.
I don't want a whole bunch of complete sets laying around my house. So it's a good like one box product just to kind of rip something, get the new rookies, and then look forward to what's the next one after that? Maybe like Inception, usually around this time, a month from now or so.
Inception was later
Yeah, it was late
last
last
year.
year. But I always
So,
thought that was like the
finest, I think
finest.
is like the big first release, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken, of like a actual like Chrome product. But yeah, you got your Series One, Series Two.
I think it's just like the perfect like intro to hobby product. If you really wanted to, like, you could rip it with your kids. You could, you know,
Yeah, I'll say, man, in 2020, you could buy flagship and like those singles would actually like sell for. I mean, we all remember Lou Bob, right? Like, oh man, you got a Lou Bob single, you should send that into PSA.
everybody
You know,
everybody
base
did too.
paper, send it in PSA. It's like printing money, free money, fun coupons,
It was, though. It was a
and
time.
it was a time, yeah. So like back then, I was very eager to rip. I will say, Bowen, kind of to your point. I don't know why I did it, but now I kind of feel like I do. Last year, I went and bought a blaster of Series One, and I told Pop I came clean, and he was like, "Why did you buy it?" And I'm like, "I don't know." But I think to your point, maybe I just did it because it's like you got to just rip one box, see what it's all
Yeah,
about.
because it's like the flagship product of Tops, and I understand like now that Chrome is big, that's now the you know
Chrome is flagship.
yeah A
This
tier
is doo doo
rookie,
paper.
right? But there's
This is
still
doo-doo paper.
like you think 20 years from now, like you think maybe a Julio paper has that same appeal that like a Trout paper did in 2021. You
Maybe,
know,
maybe I can say this. Look, I understand like ripping some of it. I really I don't hate it. What I think I dislike is the like falsifying of what it is, and not by tops, by like other people,
mm,
breakers in the hobby, influencers, and even just each other. Like some people like really just need to know what they're getting into with it, and I feel like if you do, it has its place. It is, to your point, one of the least expensive rips that actually has like volume that you can like open a bunch of cards um for a solid price, right? So like I get it, but there's just not a lot of it's not a lot of monetary value that is going to come out of it unless you get lucky. And even still, like, it's just there's autos of Adley and Gunner from Series One that you can get for $100.
I think for the
Yeah, and like they have
right.
stickers. It's
And
just
that's like what you would be chasing would be an auto of one of those
yeah.
guys.
It's
And
it's a it's definitely a much lower floor and ceiling, but it's also a lot less expensive. I will say to your point, Bowen, I don't think that Julio's rookie paper card will ever become Trout's simply because of the print runs. Like
And the
2021
awareness
was
now,
printed,
right?
let's see, number of cards per player 700,946 in 2021, 972,749 in 2022, which is Julio's rookie year. So you're talking about a million paper Julio rookies.
And the
With
fact that
Trout, it was
so
in
like
the
when people
200,000s.
say something's one in a million, like that's like genuine in this case. It's
Julio
literally
is one in a million, guys.
so do we think a rookie card will have that same pop that
Bro,
Trout
crazy
did?
enough, we talked about this, and I think honestly, like, you're always talking about the card to own, right? So with like basketball and football, right now it's the silver prism, right? You get a good silver prism, CJ Stroud, and you hold that thing. If he becomes Mahomes, then that card is gonna do front flips. Now, will the base as well? Sure, but like the card to own for baseball in this regard, in my opinion, is like a refractor or better. Has to be. I don't even think the chrome base card is like the card anymore.
I don't even like refractors are just so meh now to me. Like if you can, you guys didn't really collect cards back in like the 90s, right? I think I recall like you guys
yeah.
weren't really so back then.
I wasn't. My dad was, so
Like
like through
the
him.
refractor was like the best thing, right? Because autos
Yeah, it
weren't
had the peel
really
sticker.
yeah running rampant, and now like a refractor is just as worthless as a base for like
But that's what
baseball
I'm
cards,
saying. Like the
right? Like
scale has moved up to
yeah.
the refractor being like the minimum acceptable like one to own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if there's a
Just my
prospect that
thoughts.
you think is going to be um the next big thing forever, like a generational talent, like and you don't have something better than a refractor, it's not going to turn into you know,
$1 million
paying
overnight.
off your student loans or something like that. You know what I mean? Because even refractors, you get a PSA 10 refractor, it's great, it's solid, but even that, to Enzo's point, is just that's the floor now when it comes to like long term stuff.
So what's the most outside of the refractor most acceptable parallel of a rookie card where you're going to have the like biggest bang for your buck type thing?
Gold.
Like the biggest increase, yeah, it's gonna be probably true gold. Obviously, like not including red because it's out of 5.
Well, yeah, like I'm saying, the
Yeah.
one that's going you can get at like a decent price, but if you hold it until the right time,
Ah,
like
yeah,
you're going
refractor
to
auto.
make your
Refractor
best
auto, yeah.
like. Okay, now
Yep,
those are $4.99, right?
they
Refractor
are.
autos.
Exactly. So they're like, and a lot of times most times they do better than the purple at a 250, and then sometimes, depending on the player, they can even rival the green at 99 for no
Yeah,
reason other than
and right, it's really what it comes down to is liquidity, right? A refractor auto of a big player is very liquid. It's more liquid than a purple or a green, which is why that happens sometimes.
yeah.
Because if there's only one available, people will overpay for it because it's desirable because it's just OG, if you will.
Just glad they made refractors desirable in that sense. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because man, you know how much a Charles Woodson refractor rookie is? More than I'm willing to pay. Like, it's expensive, man. Like, it's
Yeah,
money.
I mean, they were rare back then, like you said. I
Yeah,
mean,
like, can we go back to those days?
go
Can
look
we
up
make
like a Kobe refractor, bro.
Yeah.
Well, they were rare, and
All green and shit.
there was people that like the hobby wasn't what it is now. Where like if you're opening these cards, for the most part, like you know what a good card looks like. Back then, I feel like there was a lot of people that like didn't know what they had. I mean,
Oh, I'm sure I threw away some cards
Oh,
that
I
were
mean,
worth
yeah, I mean,
like a
there
buck.
was a guy. There was a guy on King of Collectibles. That he had a true gold rookie of Steph Curry in his sock drawer for like years, and like opened it one day back then, and was like, "Oh, that's cool," and just like put it away, and then Steph Curry just went nuts, and he ended up auctioning it on Golden, and like made a ton of money.
yeah.
It's a
But like it
card
was
in a
literally in
sock
like a
drawer.
penny sleeve in a box, no top loader.
Bro, back then, you're lucky if the card was in a top loader if it had a penny sleeve in it. Like,
Oh
it
yeah,
was,
no, dude. Pull up my dad gave me all of his old cards, and like
Oh, it was
of course
tragic.
you gotta have the talk with him. Like, hey man, you're not gonna retire on this. We got past that. So then I'm starting to go through them. Yeah, there's like not a single penny sleeve in sight when there's a top
oh,
loader.
yeah, it's just, woo.
He had some good stuff. There was a couple of the upper deck baseball MJs.
Mm.
So those still sell really well. Ken Griffey rated rookies. None of them gradable, unfortunately, because they were all unprotected. But
That's all
you know,
nostalgia for me. Like, I'll, like, if somebody's like, you want to rip this box or go through it? Yeah, because that's like what I grew up on. But I
it
know,
is fun to see the different sets they had.
yeah, and I love flipping through my binder that has like my Gary Paytons and my Sammy Sosas in it and seeing all the different designs of like
The true
you go,
holographs.
yeah, the upper decks to the tops to Fleer, and there's all these different manufacturers of cards where now it's like you got Tops and you have Panini.
Yeah,
And
and they
then
make like Don Russ as a set, but Don Russ used to be like a manufacturer.
yeah, and then like if you look at the Prism design of like the last 3 years, it's very similar, right? There's not a whole lot of change to Panini's
Yeah, I
Prism
mean,
product.
yeah,
So you're not even year to year, you're not getting a new like design really on some of those premium products. And it's like, oh, it's just so generic. Tops went out of the box with Series 1 this year, but I feel like they just made Tops Big League more desirable, like a desirable Big League by putting Series 1 on it. 'Cause it just looks like a Tops Big League product in my.
Yeah, it definitely does. But we'll see.
yeah. I
Again,
have
I think
a
it'll look good in Chrome.
I
I
think
have an
it'll
old
pop.
card that has like a Pog inside of it. So it's like a
Yeah.
card with a little cutout for a Pog that you can like poke it out.
Triple play was awesome, Lambo. Like I love triple play baseball. Like that design and that set. Oh, take me back.
Now I'm gonna take you forward, Bowen.
Ooh,
What do you think of this year's F1?
It's terrible. Oh,
Oh, all right. Well, let's hold on.
it
Let's
is.
let's bullet point this.
It's
First off, your impression on the price.
terrible.
Thoughts.
Terrible. Okay. Here's the problem. Is you look at F1 post 2020, right? Nobody
Yeah.
cares about those cards. 2021, 22, 23.
Yeah.
Like nobody cares
For the
about those.
most part, there are certain
They're,
cards that do
right.
well, but yes,
But like there's certain cards that should do that, but I'm talking about just, from you know, let's just say like who is a rookie that kind of was decent and stuck around after 2021. We got any? I'm drawing a blank. Joguan was
Joguan,
Yeah.
Joguan was
yeah,
last year. Who was the rookie in 2020? Mick.
Mick, which apparently they're now saying he might come back for the Mercedes C, but that's
So
then
maybe it's
I'm
just
seeing
like
it's
a lack of
Antonelli and
rookie class that's really Yuki. Like there the maybe just one hasn't hit yet, so it doesn't make that gear
So
desirable.
so I was telling Enzo this, and like I really just I feel like this is what kills F1 cards right now. As far as price,
hold on
because
one second, guys.
like you're good. As far as price goes, like the boxes being the same price or greater than the year before, without any substantial changes to the seats, it's like there's there's no really such thing as a good class. A good class would be more than one rookie that's collectible, and
True, true,
that's
true.
and that's like very
And we're
rare.
getting what, like two a release now,
This year's just
essentially.
Piastri, no?
No, Logan's in there.
Is he? I thought Logan's
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah,
No,
Is he
Logan's
in
got a
this year?
rookie. Yep.
Okay.
yeah, he's in this year.
Okay.
Remember, you had thought that before, but then we
Yeah.
confirmed it.
Yeah, so it's just so like
Mhm.
again to that point, this is a quote unquote good class. It's two guys, and when you go and you look at brake prices, my favorite driver George Russell, who a lot of people would say is like the sixth best driver, seventh best driver on the grid, is still two or three times what these rookies are. It just doesn't make any sense, like resale wise. And then
Because what his auto is like what you might make your money back on. Because
might, but then
you're not
You
gonna
again,
will, you will.
it's his fourth year.
right, yeah. Like if you
Like,
pull a true gold Russell this year, like that's not. It's good for your
Well, I
PC, but
think
it's not good for your
I
bank
was.
account.
This is definitely the best rookie class we've seen since 2020. So it
Is
has that going for it.
is that
But
why the price
there's
increased though? Because of the
that's
rookie
but
class?
what I was gonna say is on the same vein, the price increase, the design,
Mm.
and
So
just the general lack of enthusiasm for F1 from the masses. I just don't see a world where these cards, like the single market, recovers unless it's like a Piastri.
have you looked at the design yet, Enzo?
I'm looking at it right now, and yeah, I have a lot of
you
questions.
can't
Why
even
is the
tell what
F1
team
logo
it
so
is.
big?
Did
Yeah,
you see the red green parallel?
I have not. Hold on.
Okay, go to the F1 hobby chat that we're in and just scroll up a little. I think Rut might have posted one or he commented underneath of it. It is terrible.
I gotta look.
It looks like my 5-year-old designed it.
Yeah, exactly right. We'll sweep the floor for some silver packs. Why not? I have so many chats, man.
They
It's
took
really
what is a
tragic.
really good design with the red border with the green on the inside. Like, how can we mess this up? Let's just make it solid on one color on one side.
What?
Yeah,
No.
dude, what?
There's like, oh man,
So bad.
that's
Now
tragic.
imagine, right? You're ripping packs, right?
Uh
Okay.
huh.
And you like, how like you do the breaker, you kind of like spread it out, see what you got, and you see that
Mm-hmm.
red border, right? And there's no green on the inside to temper your expectations now. Like you're like, oh, and then
It
it's
was
like
already tough.
Yeah.
But now you have to check like both corners
I
You
just
gotta
or
set it
check
up.
the top. You can no, you
well,
can check the top. You
Yeah.
can check the top.
well, and I'll say this: it's just like looking at the design. It's just like they're doing a really bad job of marketing the sport, in my opinion. Because without the teams, it's very tough to like draw the connections. Like if you
They could
know,
not have made the team name any smaller.
yeah, and
Why is
just
the logo so like? Why did they make the F1 logo so large?
yeah, and then they just there's no it it to me it would be what I would do if Tops owned F1 and was gonna release an update to the whole championship where every driver was for themselves. Like that's what that
Yeah.
would look like to me.
Well, I guess my
Dude,
question is,
honestly,
why didn't they do this? Because they're going off of last year's baseball design, right? That had the face, ears, right? So why not just put the team logo where you had the face of the driver or the player, and then you could
dude, well,
see
like,
like,
even
oh, I
last
have
year
a
they didn't have the
Mercedes.
team logos. But like it didn't look distasteful because the F1 logo wasn't taking over the card.
Right? Yeah. Ugh. It's
Yeah,
just
you know what? Now I'm curious. Do they not
Last
have
year's
the
looked
rights
so
to
much
these?
better.
Do they not have the rights to the team logos?
Nah,
I
but
mean, if
see, I'm
they
looking at
didn't,
last
they wouldn't
year's
be
and
able
they've
to have
got the
it on
Ferrari
the
logo everywhere.
yeah, and they wouldn't be able to have it on the suits, right? If they didn't have
Yeah.
the rights to it.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like I don't understand why. Because like I was just
And the
thinking like as far as like Mercedes, like that's like a bigger brand. Like I wonder if that's something to do
and
with
the
it.
next thing where they really messed up is go look at the legend cards, right?
Oh
It basically
boy.
looks like a Panini card, a Panini
Oh
unlicensed
jeez.
baseball card.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no, that
you
looks
hate to see it, man.
Like it's like, what are we doing here?
yeah. Yeah, I'll say this. What was release price? 360 a box?
I don't even remember.
I think it was
Remember
like
being pissed off
360.
about it.
If we get them down, if the hobby knocks them down to like 250, we might dabble. Do a little one boxer, a little two box cereal.
Bro, it's crazy. I remember doing hobby boxes for like $600
Yeah,
or whatever it was when it got
bro,
crazy.
they were like a
Yeah, no, it is
thousand bucks this
disappointing, Bob.
fucking box.
They took a good thing and they've refused to accept the fact that the singles market is in the toilet.
Yeah,
I think I
And
did a
what
whole Ocone SP Rainbow from Sapphire last year, minus the out of 5 and out of 1 because I haven't found them yet. The whole thing I got for less than $100,
and what's
which is,
crazy is
I mean, it's cool, but like,
yeah, they
don't make
raised
the
the
boxes
prices
expensive.
but made the design terrible. So there's really no like, imagine if they would have raised the prices, would knock the design out of the park, right? Then you're like, ah, well, like maybe, like I could maybe see opening, but now you just gave me a terrible price and a terrible looking product. Like, I'll buy singles for
Yeah,
25
that's the
cents from
thing. Well, and that's
China.
Bob just said it in chat. It's good as a collector if you're buying the singles.
Hmm.
But I also rip open boxes. So we wanted to rip open boxes, but it's just tough to do it when you're getting the same price as everybody else, right? And you know that price is not good. And you know that like nobody is going to win that break except for maybe the guy if he hits, gets Piastri and gets an auto or a max auto. There's a couple ways you win, but it's long odds. It's really just for people that want to collect the cards. But if they can just buy the cards for cheaper, then you know.
And the other problem is there's no like Hamilton's still probably clearly the number two driver, right? But my man hasn't won a race in what, 2 years ish.
yeah. I
Yeah, but
mean,
I mean, he's still going to be the most popular.
He
yeah,
ain't
I mean,
got
he's
no.
probably still
He
more
doesn't have
popular than
any Grand
Max.
Prix winner cards of driver of the day.
Yeah, like F1 fans like remember history. You know what I mean? So
Right.
guys like Fernando Alonso, multi-time champions, Lewis Hamilton, they'll still be favorites because they've just been in it so long. and like dominated for so many years.
Imagine the product when we get Lou Ham in a Ferrari uniform.
Oh man, Ruckcap's gonna go nuts.
Oh yeah. So as you can see, we're all a little disappointed by the F1. All right. So it's Tuesday, officially 2 days out from the Super Bowl. Bowen, any hot takes on what we witnessed?
I have to think Kyle Shanahan is the worst big game
Oh
coach
man.
I've ever.
Who said that all week, Bowen? Anybody you
Listen,
know?
I watched Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, right? Lose a lot of big games. Okay, I've I feel like Kyle Shanahan like has a book of how can I mess this up? What can I do to ensure that my team doesn't win this game? I know we'll take our 7th round quarterback and just showcase him the whole third quarter and not feed the guy who probably could have been NFL MVP.
Yeah, like why are you not running the ball?
Like,
Me and Pop both said it at certain points in the game, but like they just let the Chiefs hang around for too long, man. Like
yeah,
a team like the Chiefs, you've got to go out there, smack them in the mouth, and just coast. You know what I mean? You're not going to coast with a 1 touchdown lead. There's no world where that's going to happen. But like, yeah, to your point, I think he had how many handoffs in the last 3 drives? I
It
don't
was
know. I
bad.
remember seeing it, but it's not enough. Especially like when early on they were gashing them. I mean, he was getting 8 a clip
Yeah.
on that
Ru-
first drive until he
yeah.
fumbled
Rush
it.
said they stacked 9. Bro, I watched Michigan run the ball 37 straight times against 9 in a box against Penn State. 3 yards, 3 yards, first
I
down.
was about
Three
to say
yards, 3 yards, first
I
down.
still would have tried it.
I mean, they
Yeah.
were still getting 2, 3 yards a clip running the ball. It just wasn't like no. I felt like the offense had no flow at
Yeah,
all.
even if not just running the ball every play. Like obviously, not everybody's Michigan, but like mix it up a little more on those last couple drives.
Yeah, it was like I didn't, and then like they barely got Kittle involved. I felt like they were trying to force the ball to Debo. Like Ayuk is probably their best pure wide receiver, and it just like I don't know. It felt like San Francisco didn't want to win the game. Kittle got hurt like in the last drive or two. He was
Yeah,
out there the whole game.
he had
Yeah,
0
he got
catches
put in a
healthy.
box.
Yeah,
He got put
like
inside of a box, like
the
literally.
highlight of Kittle's game was when he had a catch called back because of a holding. Like that's all we
Yeah,
saw
no.
of Kittle. Yeah, like
And
they
I mean,
barely put use check, whatever you want to call him, into the game. Like I just felt like they got away from what got them there, and then
It's the Kyle
just let
Shanahan recipe, dude.
Mahomes stay in the game. And
said it all week, bro. The man's cursed ever
I don't
since 28-3. He's just never been the same, man.
I don't know if there's a single person after San Francisco kicked the field goal that didn't think Kansas City was going to go down and win that game.
When they kicked the field goal, it was over.
Yeah, in overtime, as soon as they kicked that field goal,
It was done.
I didn't say it in our chat because I didn't want to like jinx it, but like me and Pop are both like, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I
game's
did.
over.
I'm pretty sure I said right on schedule because
Yeah.
everyone should have known that that's
You
what was
don't
gonna
hand Mahomes the ball with a chance to win a game. Like it's just
happen.
So and let me ask you this: if you're Shanahan, do you go for it there?
I
You risk
almost
it?
I almost would have. Yeah, I mean,
If I'm
You think he's
Shanahan
that good?
there, I would have kicked it off at the start of overtime and
he said he
known what
wanted
my
the
team
ball
Oh
needed to get.
third.
boy!
He said he wanted the
Oh
ball
jeez!
third in case they went score for score.
It's
Which
dude, such a bad strategy, especially because Big Red is a fucking dog, and Andy Reid had a plan, and they actually said the Chiefs were gonna kick it off, and if they had to score a touchdown to tie it, they were gonna go for 2, and they had to play for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I was about to say. Like
that's how you do
coaching,
that.
a lot of times coaches forget like you have to get down to the details, where to line up, what plays to run, situationals. And like, bro, the fact that some of these players didn't know what the OT rules were, that's insane.
So here's my question for you
That's
guys.
wild.
Do you think if San Francisco goes down and scores a touchdown on their first drive, do they Gatorade bath Shanahan? And then we have the most awkward moment in Super Bowl history?
I don't know. I mean, I will say they were very fired up. Pop pointed it out after the first drive. Kinlaw was like, just
He
like he's
he
tweaking all over the
actually literally
field,
hurt
and
himself because he was so
yeah,
excited. He tore his
yep,
Achilles.
yep.
And I was just like, bro, like these guys look like this is like the the game and it's only the first quarter and yeah, I mean that second half definitely looked different.
I felt
I think
like
Shanahan will be back though. I mean, I don't think he'll never win a Super Bowl. Like, I think he'll finally. He's super young. Like the guy's smart.
For sure.
He's just got to get over this hump.
he's
It
smart
sucks,
until you get
dude.
into the third quarter of a football game that means something.
Yeah,
And
but bro, you don't get to the Super Bowl twice as a head coach not knowing what you're doing. So like,
Who was the Bills head coach when they got four straight?
Marv Levy, right?
yeah,
Did he ever
yeah.
win a Super Bowl?
No.
Just shut your mouth.
No, it was just an honest question. I will say this
He was
though.
much older, I believe.
I'll
He
say
was
this.
much
Somebody
older.
said it in chat that Andy Reid is like the OG Shanahan. I'll say this. As an Eagles fan, I fucking hated Andy Reid by the end of it because
Oh yeah, I
I
remember.
because
I
I was
remember.
convinced that like
You wanted him gone.
this guy like couldn't you just was never gonna win. It was never gonna happen. They got there so often and then looked so inept every time. And I was like, yeah, this is trash. We need somebody different.
Well, that's how, I mean, again, like, I watched Jim Harbaugh's Michigan teams, like, look dominant, and then you get them in a bowl game, and they just, like, look completely different. And now, granted, you have a month to prepare between, like, your last game and then your bowl game, but it's I never understood it. Like, how does a team look? And this was before like opt outs and the people declaring for the draft and the transfer portal. Like, I think the Florida State game in 2016, like they looked
Do you
terrible.
think Harbaugh finally got over the hump because he had the signs?
No, no. I think what Harbaugh finally did is he got a quarterback, right? JJ McCarthy. And then he also just went back to what he did. The man, like the Harbaughs are a running team, and then
Yeah.
like you look at like so he went back to what they do, and then he went back to getting players that bought in.
Well,
You know,
so before the playoffs, the last two playoffs, right? Michigan's been the last two playoffs. Before that, they played 3 bowl games against SEC teams
and
and lost them all.
got smoked, and they weren't the only
Florida
game
smoked
that
on
they
that pack.
were
Let's ride.
the only game where they looked competent was that Bama game, and that was only in like the first quarter. Because
I
after
was
the
about to
first
say,
quarter,
then it was like 35-16, like
yeah,
in no
like they
time.
just they look like a completely different team. And then I
But
mean,
he did it.
even against Georgia in 2021, like I'll be the
Yep.
first one to tell you, I gassed Michigan up heading into that game. Like Georgia ain't gonna be able to stop this running game, yada yada. I knew when one of those NFL linebackers ran from the left sideline to the right sideline and tackled Blake Corum in the backfield, I was like, "Oh, we're
We're in
we're,
trouble.
this is not good." And then going into the TCU game again, I was like, "They can't stop Michigan." Well, not only could they stop them, they put 51 on them. Like what? Like what happened to the
Yeah.
nation's best defense going into that? And then
Yeah, it was just
but
odd.
they said going into this year they stopped hitting in practice. They started doing more like mental reps than like physical reps because they were saying by the time they got into those games, they were so physically beat down that they just couldn't compete. So Harbaugh like adapted to what they were doing.
And he had
And-
other teams signed.
I mean, yeah, but listen, if you're not
If you're not
I
cheating,
just-
you're not trying, man.
yeah.
No, that's cool.
Let me point out, right? They came out with the sign stealing thing before Michigan State. Went out and beat Michigan State 49 to nothing.
Bet.
They went out and beat Purdue, put up like 52 on Purdue, right?
Oh, believe me, bro. As a Pats fan, I know exactly how you feel.
Ran
bro.
the ball
And then, like, people
37
still use
straight
it.
times against Penn State. You could have walked out there, gave the Penn State defense the play, and they still couldn't stop it. Then, they went against Maryland, trap game, struggled a little bit, right? Got in a dogfight with Ohio State with their backup head coach. You lost to the backup head coach.
Oh,
You know,
man, you hate to
beat
see it.
Iowa at their own game, special teams and
Oh,
defense.
man.
Retired Nick Saban, and then beat the greatest show on turf. Listen, signs or no signs, bro.
It's his
They did
favorite
that.
favorite movie. Signs.
Yeah, dude, that's a great movie. I love that movie.
So,
M. Night Shyamalan.
do you guys know the best
wait a minute.
part of Super Bowl Sunday?
Was it when Usher took his shirt off?
No, close.
Oh,
Yo, that's crazy.
It's
It went
officially Howie season. Let's go.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
It's Howie
All right,
season,
I'm going home.
baby. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good off season, as
Did
it
I
always
just see
is.
somebody say if Iowa had an average offense, they beat Michigan?
Okay, that's Zay, and you should not
No,
respond to that.
that's
Lester will
not
be here all
Zay.
night.
That's the meat locker, man.
Oh, that was Bob.
Oh, that's
man.
Bob. Yeah, no, that's but you better chill,
no.
bro.
Oh,
No way.
You better. Hey, I'm very defensive over Bob. You better watch it.
No
Tread lightly.
shot.
Bob v. Bowen. Oh man.
No shot, bucko.
Well, that is all we have for the Shake and Break show tonight. Stay tuned. We are going to go into our break stream here momentarily. If you're watching on Spotify or YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. We'll have more fun stuff to talk about, I'm sure. And until then, No Flow Nation.
Right.
That's right.
Happy birthday, Bowen. That's right.